Hi everyone, this is Aruna Arichami, Assistant Professor, Department of Information Technology, SNS College of Technology. In my lecture series today, we're going to see about the MongoDB. This is a non-SQL database that we're going to discuss in detail. So before entering into the MongoDB, first we're going to see about that definition and what is the difference between SQL, that is a structured query language, and the not only SQL, that is not only structured query language. So this both the difference we're going to discuss over here. So what do you mean by MongoDB means the MongoDB is nothing but the NoSQL, that is the we can call it as a not only structured query language, because it is also one of the mechanism. By using that mechanism, we can able to store the data and retrieve the data within the certain model. And also it is not in a tabular model, because in our SQL, we are storing all the data in the tabular relation used in the relational database. So that would be overcome over here. Here there is no schema. We doesn't need to design any structure for the database. So by itself, it will create the structure based on the input what we are giving. So for that only it will be called it as a not only SQL. So what is the difference between SQL and NoSQL means? SQL is a RDBMS. Here it is a non-relational or a distributed database, we can call it as. So and also in your SQL it will have a schema is a fixed, or we have to use the predefined schema, or we going to use the static schema. Here your schema is a dynamic. There is no certain schema to be followed. Based on the whatever the data we are giving, based on the thing, it will get the input, it will process the thing. So the next thing is it could be suitable only for the complex queries. For the complex queries and all, it will not be good, because why we are saying the better one is a SQL means your NoSQL does not support the ACID property, that is atomicity, consistency, durability, and isolation. That particular property is not supported in the NoSQL, but in our SQL it can be supported. So only we can say for the complex queries is a better suited. It is not suited for the complex queries. It is a scalable. Vertically we can able to scalable. Here only horizontally we can able to scalable our data. It will follow the ACID property, but here it will not follow the ACID property. Only a base properties can be followed. So this is the major difference between SQL and the NoSQL. So this is the structure of the database. So here you are having a relational database. It will follow a certain ACID property. Through that ACID property only your particular data can be entered into the database. So majorly where we can use this thing is all our financial transaction, all our banking sector and all, we are using only the relational database. NoSQL can be used in the worldwide, the user for using the services, or we can use the e-commerce application, that is Netflix, Spotify, Uber. In this thing and all, it could be used the NoSQL database. So here it could be based on the input what we are giving, based on that thing it will create a structure by its own. So through that only it can be called it as a NoSQL. Nowadays in our latest technology, they are combining the SQL and NoSQL. They can form the another type of a database called as a new database, because so many properties can be good enough in NoSQL. Some properties can be good enough in our SQL. So this both the thing can be combined together and form the new database that can be called it as a new SQL database. So that's and all. Nowadays the latest technology and all, they are using this type of a database, because if you are using in real time application, if you are using any NoSQL database for security purpose and all, we have to go for the another set of application for providing a security to our database. But while using the NoSQL, we doesn't need that thing, because it will the combination of these two things only combined. But SQL, it will have a full security, because it will support the ACID property that could be overcome over in our new SQL database. So the next thing is, these are the sum of the NoSQL database. That is, the database can be defined as a graph database, document oriented database, column family database. These are the sum of the application where we are using under the NoSQL. But in our SQL, we are having an Oracle, MySQL, Postgres SQL. These are some of the tools for the SQL. So Nijo4j and GraphDB, CouchDB, Cassandra, HBase. These are the some of the MongoDB. These are the some of the databases under the NoSQL. So in my upcoming lecture, we're going to see the detailed thing about the MongoDB in the full thing. Thank you for watching my video.